Doug MPA back with another video. Guys, look at this headline. It says men benefit more from their looks at work than women do, new research shows. This study shows that they found some people in high school and they followed them for a certain amount of years and found that the men who were rated attractive in high school got really far up the corporate ladder. And this is just reinforcing that there is a such thing as that top 10% of men getting 80 to 90% of the women. They're these guys who are 6 foot taller, square jaw, and they get all the opportunities in the world, including the ones with women. We all know this in the red pill space, but more and more research is going to come out and show that a Chad is a real thing. Just like how there's women who win the genetic lottery, there are men too. And here's the thing: I'm not even saying that these guys and girls shouldn't benefit from their looks, but there's this denial amongst women that looks play a factor with women getting ahead and men getting ahead in the dating market. That's my biggest problem with this. If you're a Chad Chaddington and you're 6'2" with a full hairline, you're getting ahead. More power to you guys. But ladies, stop denying that this is a real thing. We're going to get into this article. This is going to be a longer one. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into this, guys. It says, new research upends the trope that women use their looks to get ahead in their careers, showing that men actually reap greater benefits from being attractive in the workplace. So first off, there upends the trope that women use their looks to get ahead in their careers. Women use their looks to get ahead in every other part of life. So let's stop capping. Okay. And then what do they mean by ahead? They're talking about positions in corporate America. Let's not talk about guys normally help attractive women in the workplace more. So if you're on a project with a woman who's attractive, all the guys are going to try to help her out using their time and resources to make her life easier. A recent study of more than 11,000 Americans conducted over 20 years has found that good-looking men are more likely to attain better jobs and make more money than similarly attractive women. Now, let's not forget, guys, men work more hours. Men usually have degrees and things that are more marketable to the company, whereas a woman will have an advertising or marketing degree, a guy will have a degree in accounting or finance. It says in 1993, two sociologists from the University of Oslo and the Polish Academy of Sciences identified young Americans between the age of 12 and 18 using data from this thing here. So these two guys recorded participants' demographic information and socioeconomic status, and then asked volunteers to rate the participants' physical attractiveness on a 4-point scale: very attractive, attractive, unattractive, and very unattractive. These two explained that they chose to base the research on teenagers' perceived attractiveness as adults and have they chose to base the research on teenagers' perceived attractiveness as adults, have greater financial means to manipulate or enhance their physical appearance, like getting plastic surgery, so that scores would feel less genuine. 2 decades later, when the participants have reached their late 30s, the research compared the attractiveness scores of the 15-year-old volunteers to their current career status. They discovered that those who had moved up the corporate ladder the fastest were earning the most were the men who had been deemed very attractive as teenagers. Why are they shocked about this? Why? I did a story on my channel early last year about how attractive women's grades are suffering, during the cough because they're doing online class instead of class in person. And teachers are more likely to give better grades to attractive female students in person, whether they're male or female. Looks have something to do with almost every aspect of our society. Why are they so shocked about this? Even with potential obstacles like coming from a low-income household or growing up in a dangerous neighborhood, attractive men still manage to achieve upward mobility. Good-looking women had a slight advantage in their careers over other women deemed less attractive, but men saw the greatest benefits from their physical appearance, according to the report. And what they're doing is they're not factoring in, I guarantee you, these men did more work than all these women when it comes to clawing their way up the corporate ladder. But they're just trying to say it's because they're more attractive. This suggests that for men, being attractive plays a significant role in your professional success, whether it's getting a raise, a promotion, or access to more competitive jobs. That is 100% true. Most CEOs are 6 foot taller, are 6 foot or taller in the United States. Most, a lot of military leaders are 6 foot and taller. Oh, here we go, guys. Double standards could be holding women back. Other research has shown that many of the characteristics people use to describe strong, capable leaders are masculine. We all know that. It's not a coincidence that many U.S. presidents, for example, have been men that are over 6 feet tall. We tend to assume that someone stronger, taller, and better looking than their peers is more capable of leading, which automatically puts women at a disadvantage. We also know that men have to stick it out for the long term. Women can quit and focus on other things besides career, government, politics, like being a mom and having a family whenever she wants. And if she chooses to leave her career behind, people always support her. I just did a video about how there are more females in the C-suite quitting to focus on other ambitions and other passions. Women can just quit. A man in a position is going to stick it out most of the time. These two found that women's attractiveness is typically characterized by weak feminine traits like being passive, agreeable, tender, and loving, because that's what men want from women. And honestly, that's what most women want from other women too. Also points out that some corporate cultures favor masculine traits. No, all corporate cultures favor masculine traits. So while men are expected to lead with decisiveness, women are discouraged from taking up jobs with a high level of authority, and given harmful labels such as difficult or bossy because it's seen as unattractive. Here's the thing. Men, we know deep down that women choose to be in authoritative and high stress positions for different reasons than men do. A woman has to really want to do it, and they have an out plan. Men, we don't. And when it comes down to it, if a woman's in your face and yelling and screaming, bossy and stuff, and you're a guy, deep down you're saying, this woman can't physically fight me. What's she being so difficult for? In other words, being an attractive woman is incompatible with ingrained stereotypes and expectations people might hold for business leaders. So this executive says that female leaders suffer from a likability trap. You have to be liked enough to be invited to the table, but not so likable that you're considered a pushover and not qualified to be a leader. There are still these limiting gender biases that we haven't overcome. You want to know a gender bias? A gender bias that 50% of women surveyed said that they would rather work for a male boss than a female boss. 50%, guys. Why do you think that is? Queen bee syndrome is a real thing where women intentionally make, when they get to the C-suite or supervisory positions or positions of authority, they intentionally make the life of other women more difficult. How's that for gender biases? For women, beauty can be a liability. Attractive women can face greater penalties in the workplace for their looks than their male counterparts. Other research has shown that attractive women are often seen as less capable or less qualified for their positions than their peers, and in extreme cases, less trustworthy. Attractive men do not face similar repercussions for their physical appearance. Once again, we know deep down, this is men and women know that if a woman is attractive enough to get a millionaire, she might wake up one day, no matter what she's doing in her life, and say, you know what? Forget this career stuff. Forget all this stress. I'm going to marry me a rich man. Because women that are that attractive have that option. Attractive men don't. Women feel so much pressure to modify and police their bodies. There's almost no margin for error, says this person. Women are held to a specific standard of attractiveness and are often punished when they fail to uphold that standard, but then they're punished when they do. It's a lose-lose situation. Guys, I'm going to bring up, if you don't know this, Doug MPA is from Western Washington, right? And Western Washington, I mean, I haven't been to LA in a while, but Western Washington is the place where attractive women make themselves ugly to fight the patriarchy, right? Western Washington is one of the main places where you see women with septum piercings, that ugly, shaved left side of your head haircut, purple hair, blue hair, you know, tattoos everywhere. So women want to control the narrative as to how their bodies are seen until they get close to the wall, until they start hitting their 30s. Then all of a sudden they start growing everything out, covering up their tattoos, taking out all their piercings and their gauges because they want to be attractive to men after spending all their 20s fighting in the world of men. So I don't know what this specific standard of attractiveness is. Not being conventionally attractive is being pushed now more than ever, especially with this whole body positivity thing. So this person points out that gender equality in the United States overall could have skewed the results of the research. The rankings were determined by, okay, that could be the one reason why inequality between attractive men and women manifests itself in the workplace in the United States in such a blatant way. It would be interesting to see if that same issue exists in a more egalitarian country like Finland or Denmark. So it recognizes the limitation of the data, late bloomers, blah, blah. Bronson still says the research highlights the subtle barriers and microaggressions that continue to obstruct women's career advancement. Those can often do the greatest damage. If we don't have systems in place to check this kind of unconscious bias that exists everywhere from the hiring to the promotion process, it just creates more broken rungs women face on the career ladder. Guys, what do we always say in this space? A small percentage of men are getting all the women, and a small percentage of attractive men are climbing up the corporate ladder. We already know this, and hey, you know what? More power to them. But don't ever get it twisted. It takes a lot of work to climb the corporate ladder, and studies like this completely dismiss all the work that these guys have to do to get there. It's just based on their looks. Women will always get more handed to them because of their looks than men, always. And it's only a recent phenomenon since birth control, feminism, women being over 50% of the workforce that looks on men are so focused on. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.